Love and light. It's your girl, CYNETHA Jade. Most call me Love. Back at it with another live stream. Oh, you know what I gotta do now, don't you? Yes. You know what? I try my best, collective, if I do say so myself, to lead by example. And that's me clapping for me. But it's also me clapping for we, right? We got this thing going. And I love to talk about it because it's pretty amazing, as are yourselves, right? And so I just wanted to say, before I even get started here with the channeling, thank you for clicking on the video, for giving it a chance, for returning, for supporting. All right. Thank you for existing. Thank you for not giving up. Okay. And hopefully, as is my intention, you get something out of this particular message. Now, you guys, this one is a general collective message, right? But this is really addressing the collective generally, if I do say so myself. All right. Love and light, Fiona. Oh, thank you, babe. So, um, I really feel confident that each and every one of us, at least through most, if not all, aspects of this session, will be addressed. All right. Now, I didn't open the channeling yet, so so there's that part too, right? Not just a tarot reader here. So we'll see whatever else we got to talk about. I really never know. I think I know a lot, right? And then I turn around and I watch later. I'm like, wow, that's amazing. So, hey, whatever happens, as long as it's hitting with your intuition, right? You got to have the intuition utilized, right? You got to use it so you can't really lose it, but you could lose a lot of stuff acting like you don't have it, if that makes sense. So please, inclusive of this one and any tarot reading, my goodness, definitely utilize that intuition. All right, you guys. Now this kind of, I'm really like, bear with me. I am really trying to make sure I'm hydrated up for this. I was prepping at the gym. This, channeling, okay, is inclusive, from what I can see in the cards, quite specifically of energies of that coming from the Galactic Federation. Those that know, if that makes sense. Love and light, eat me. And so we've got a bit of a mixed bag to talk about, but general energies, right? You guys really need to lighten up, okay? Some of you need to drop what would be considered by most dead weight, all right? Whether that's coming from you, your mentality, your mindset, your lifestyle, your to-do list, your expectations, all right? And or whether or not it's, really talking about other people, places, things, okay? At this point of the game, most of us know, we'll say it again, and really I have to talk about it. I mean, this is me delivering the message, you guys. So listen up, okay? You guys are here actively actioning out, all right, factually, right? Building new earth, co-creating new earth. And as most of us know, but it's really coming through the message, you'll see, okay? This is a heavily conscious-based event, right? So, really now's the time to kind of quiet the mind, you guys. I really want you to take this in. It's very important, okay? And this is not me being on a soapbox. This is me being obedient to spirit, okay? And so I just want us all to actually like give ourselves the greatest chance possible to get this message. All right. The divine already went through great lengths just to be as specific as possible about this general collective-wide message, okay? So, um, you know, I'm not exactly sure, Eat Me, if you're addressing all of those paragraphs to me. Honey Bun, I've opened the channel, so I've got to focus, if that makes sense. But I really do want us all to focus, if that also makes sense, on the session, okay? Like, this is important, and it's about you all, okay? Unless and until you say, no, it ain't, that ain't me. And gosh, I don't know who in their right mind would say that about what I know And I don't know everything, okay, about what is coming forth with this particular message, all right? And I don't know about you all, but if and when Galactic Federation, really kind of like gives the hint, like, hey, ta-da, all right, I take that seriously, okay? These are, you know how they say there's levels to this? So there's that. And you know what? If that doesn't make you feel amazing in and of its own, right? The fact that such divine and, inspired guidance, really not about me. The fact that the Galactic Federation really outed themselves through the message to say, yeah, this is inclusive of we too, okay? Not about me, folks. I promise. There's no soapbox here. I don't even have a microphone. I'm not even on one. Like, literally, I'm doing my part. I've been doing a lot of shadow work. I've been doing a lot of life changes, right? As I'm sure we all have. And I just love to talk about it. Love and like Cassandra, because as we do these steps together, all right, you guys, the bell has yet to ring, but I'm still addressing you like right now. And hopefully you get something out of what all's being given to you. If you're unfamiliar with the live stream roles, please and thank you, check into the description box. You're going to have to scroll, okay? Get to know them so that you get to your free reading once that bell does ring, please and thank you, okay? But I digress. This is really talking about specific current energies for the collective here, okay? I don't know how else to say it any more plainer than that, right? Because I want you guys to really make yourselves comfortable. I want you to give this message a chance and really see what is in it for you, because I'm here to give that to you. And it would be a shame if you guys just checked out and just missed the whole point, right? I don't want that for you guys. And I'm also, like, not even on one, I'm being prompted to ask you guys to really just check, like, hey, you know, how are you doing? Are you here right now with us, with me, right? Because I'd love that for you. And I'd love that for all of us, because as most of us know, but in case someone didn't, as we do this work, even separately, you guys, right? We're all connected. And so collectively, we're really in this to win it, okay? And as we should, because those that, aren't aware, we've got birthright here, which really lays claim to that. And we do talk about that often on this channel. I'm not unmindful of it. However, who am I to manipulate the message, right? We got another one, but really talking about current energies, really kind of, I'm just trying to be mindful not to word curse, okay? Current energies, long story short, they're not telling the same tale or even timeline that I know, okay? Because of what I do, what I'm doing here, that you truthfully are. And so we've got to talk, and this is important, so that you actually live out exactly what you came to get, right? Many of you are here for love, others money. Some of you, like your girl here, I'm here for it all, right? I want the bag and to put the stuff in it, and to know people who are in my corner are truthfully, rightfully there, all right? And so if you're with me, if that resonates, I really invite you to invite this message in, okay? Of course, utilizing your own intuition. It should not be gagged and bound anywhere in any kind of truck or some other precarious position. Just saying, okay? So please, sometimes we do have to ask ourselves, are we actually aware, or are we just existing? And I want you to be aware. Of course, I'm grateful that you exist. I'm grateful that you're here with me. And if you're still here with me, you're in for a treat. I'm certain of it. I've seen most of the cards. I mean, I didn't get through all the channeling, but I still stand by the message, all right? Now, who am I speaking to? Well, of course, I'm speaking to the collective, but just to get a little bit more specific, you may already know you possess natural Reiki powers, okay? Some of you are doing Reiki, learning Reiki, being guided to learn and do Reiki, okay? Take what resonates here. Either way, your name holds power, collective, all right? This is each and every one of you. Now, wouldn't it be a pity if you weren't aware, and if you didn't check in on the awareness of this fact, right? You might miss it. You might live out as if it weren't facts, right? Nobody wants that. If you're still here with me, you too really want to live out and experience all the great, amazing, wonderful, karma filled in the most highest vibrational sense of karma, right? And all it can mean, right? Type of timeline, your utopia, okay? And we're always talking about here recently, especially on the channel. I could be speaking to someone who understands and resonates with the title of either and or earth angel or healer, okay? I could be speaking to someone who understands that they, irregardless of whether being guy, girl, what have you, irregardless of the physical meat suit, perhaps, right? The avatar, some might say, you subscribe to possessing goddess energy. Maybe some of you do work with a particular goddess. Maybe some of you do understand you are an incarnation, or maybe more aptly stated, reincarnation of same, okay? I'm at least, I say that tongue in cheek because this is big stuff, speaking to starseed energy, okay? And I need you to know, okay, this is also why I was like, can you please pay attention? Like, because maybe somebody really needs to know this, right? And maybe it's you. You are divinely protected, and there is divine intervention really in your current energy, in spite of your current energy kind of really looking like, you know, white flag about to be raised, all right? Crazy thing is, this is actually a card about better days and things getting brighter, right? But by the looks of it, it's giving, ooh, who wants to even go through that, perhaps, to live that out, to even see what the good is? Is it worth it, right? There's some aspect of, you know, you're trying again, you're fighting, you're standing your ground, right? Some of you, even, you know, shadow work comes to mind. Feeling like you're fighting yourselves, and not in the sense of being conflicted and or double-minded, right? But in the sense of retraining that brain. Like, no, what we're not going to do is still talk about the same old, same old. What we're not going to do is actually take the central nervous system hit on you know, like the idea of even money being mentioned. Makes sense, right? There's some aspect of like facing your truth in the matter. Referable, hold on, see, I think somebody here assumed they knew where this kind of message was going, right? But this is really talking about your manifestation powers. Oh, now see, if somebody's here not understanding already that they are able to manifest, you might want to actually be more aware and check into the matter, especially if you know you've been coming here for these messages. And I get it, you guys. Listen, me too. Wash, rinse, repeat type of thing, right? You rarely find evidence of just actually like a one and done it. Most of, you know, the different types of shadow work that are asked of you along the way, right? I get that. I'm also not unmindful of that. However, if you know that you've been here and you've just been kind of like taking the mindset of like, okay, yep, she's talking, loves talking, okay, yep, whose turn is it? And you're hyper focused on the one tiny little part of why you would be coming here, at least according to divine right, rule, and intent, all right? And that's, again, not me. So be mindful to really try to focus and focus again. And I get it. Some of us, myself included, you guys don't come for me, I swear. I know that I know at this point, with doing the research and everything, that I am at least neurospicy, right? So we're not here like diagnosing anyone or anything. But I do get it that there are such a thing as diagnosis and, you know, differing conditions between one collective member to the next, perhaps, right? Not me word cursing, it's just obviously a possibility. And still the message stands that you're being asked to just try again with focus on, are you being aware and present right now? Like, how many hands am I holding up? Because if you're saying 12, you might be correct if you didn't look the screen to check actually how many, right? Okay. And it's not about me, collective. I'm so serious. This is the message. This is the channeling. Okay. Whoever I'm speaking to, all right, whether you resonate as Earth Angel, Healer, Starseed or not, okay, you would resonate and your energy is connected to this, if ish hasn't been super duper easy lately, okay? Now, it's one thing to talk about Mercury retrograde and Venus retrograde, which we just barely climbed out of, right? It's another thing to talk about the amazing eclipses, plural, multiple, right? And all of that, supermoon after supermoon, does take a toll, okay? Not gonna lie. But again, giving necessary because the old timeline is essentially splitting and lopping off here, okay? Long story short. And that's why maybe you're not getting along with some of your relatives, some of your friends, hell, some of your frenemies. It's like, wait, I thought we did this on Tuesdays where we banter back and forth, and now you want to do it every day? That's feeling personal. It's beyond the comfort zone of even the abnormal, right? I don't know why I'm putting the air quotes. I think the air quotes were a little delayed for the comfort zone because really that's toxicity. And that would be something that should not be going into New Earth. And really, again, New Earth is not about hopping rocks, right, from one to the next, one planet to the next. It's talking about your conscious level. Where are you willing to grow? Because wherever you're willing to grow, at this point, when you mask it with current energies, it seems like the divine's asking you to grow everywhere. How could you without imploding or exploding? You know, popcorn kernel comes to mind, right? It's feeling like too much. Maybe it's even looking like too much, okay? And so this is why we're talking about this, because the whole entire time, collective, and I really want you to get this message. You are so okay. You are so loved. You are so supported. You are backed and protected by divinity. And I've got chills coming from the left, okay? So serious. Another thing, before I forget, I'm pulling the cards, okay? I see some evidence of bippity boppity, which we're going to talk about, but I'm going to ring the bell for those that weren't aware. So please pay attention, but please stick around. All right, hang out with your girl. This is really important. I'm here doing my part to make sure we all understand that so that we all receive the message, okay, as best I can. And it just is what it is. Hopefully you want it and you get it because it's here for you, babe. So serious. But those concerned about maybe even some supernatural occurrences, maybe some inexplicable, like, events, occurrences, like you wake up, it's like, what's this mark kind of thing, right? Or inexplicably just feeling off, right? And maybe even in the sense of, like, it being painful, okay? Irregardless of whatever tangible evidence, okay, of the bippity boppity, I need you to know that ain't nothing, babe, compared to what the kickback's going to be. And it's giving eye for an eye times 10. Okay? So we're going to talk about that too. So I really hope you guys stick around and get the message. But I am mindful of the hour. And I'm ringing the bell. For those that know what to do, please do so now. And for those that don't know maybe what to do, that's okay. That's all right. We all have to learn at one point. Please check the description box. And catch up, would you? No, let me say. Don't mind me, you guys. I'm feeling froggy. It's kind of late, and your girl's been fasting, so I'm all like lightheaded and ish. A little bit, just a little bit. I'm good though. I'm good. I got this. All right. Okay. Let's see here. Thank you, Fiona, for your help. My mods do spoil me. I so miss you dearly. Whenever I'm doing some of those live streams and it's like, oh no, I don't have any mods, I'm sorry. Like, I'm like literally like handing out apologies, like, oh, trying to keep up. So I really appreciate you guys. We have to schedule our meeting too, that reminds me. You pulled your hamstring? Girly pop, you gotta stay stretched up. Oh my goodness. I wouldn't even wish that on my worst enemy. I'm so sorry that happened, babe. Did you, like you got like did you go like see someone about that? You just gotta be careful because sometimes, um, depending on the depth of the tear or surgery, it might be a thing. Hope not. Okay, let's see here. Okay, let me see here. Well, we got a maybe so far, so hold on. So we have a yes coming out here, Eat Me, with the Two of Cups, right? The deck is currently split to the Three of Cups. And so that, I mean, 3 plus 2, reducing technically to 5, does indicate change there, right? But with the Wheel of Fortune coming out, indicating like close of cycle, and instead of yes, no, it being a maybe, right? I don't know. It's giving some hesitancy. Maybe there might be a continuance. I'm not sure. Or there is some aspect of partnership here. Maybe there is someone, after all, who will, I mean, it could be the judge. The judge could be someone who, after all, assists you with really proving, you know, what may be the obvious that comes to mind, all right? Why didn't you go to the police? Eat Me, because I don't know if the court clerk, I don't know, I just feel like that should be like an investigation, not really just like a courtroom experience, if that makes sense. And if you're not family, I don't know that you'll necessarily get to speak. Depends on the judge. Long story short. When you go to court, I would give the name of that officer and tell them, you know, whatever communication you had on the strength of that, and explain that this is the last and only avenue as you see it to, you know, prove the offense, you know, so that they know you at least jumped through some other hoops before that day and weren't just thinking you were just going to grandstand in the courtroom or something. Do you know what I mean? Um, right, you're not even in the will. So that actually bolsters your credibility. That's what I mean. I'm just saying, state the case as clear and concise as possible and let them know the hoops, the avenues you've already run through on the strength of trying to protect that man's legacy. Or the person, I said that man, or the person's, you know, estate, as it were, right? Um, and that's interesting. The police said no. I think you might want to inquire about why the police get to say no from perhaps the district attorney's office. You know, I don't know. I'm not a lawyer, and I'm not offering any legal advice, but that's the only thing I can think of just off of personal experience. That, you know, as far as like, if the police say no, the DAs can, you know, work with the police to be like, well, actually not no, perhaps, right? They may not as well, but you can ask, if that makes sense. Much love and light to you, and oh, that's horrible. Love and light, country. Oh, thanks for popping in, babe. All right, do we have any other questions here? If not, we're going to get into the message. It's getting late. But that's what I have so far. All right. Okay, so the bell will again ring. If your question has yet to be answered, it's most likely because you need to follow the live stream rules, okay? So instead of letting me know that you've posted, you would follow the live stream rules, if that makes sense. And you can check the description box below, and they're all there. And I will again ring the bell. I'm really excited, you guys, to get into this message because I have to hold space for it. So bear with me. You know, I feel like I don't want to wait and have, I don't want to close the window. I just, this is me trying to explain the inexplicable. Don't mind me. I keep trying. That's the kicker. But it's referable to the channeling, not just the tarot, okay? You're not getting just the tarot here, you guys. Just to be clear. All right, so thank you for those that will wait for the bell to ring because I'm being guided to get into the message. And also, this is your message if you're here. It should be your message because it's a collective message for this one. And Galactic Federation don't play, okay? So, here's the sitch, you guys. You're at the pivotal point here of essentially the epitome of the magician in the mirror. Knowing and using your true power. All right. Personal as well as spiritual power. You're being guided to know it and use it at this point. You are the magician, and within your grasp collective, each and every one of you, this is all of your message. Okay, I mean, this is everyone here's message, at least. Okay, if you clicked on the video, all right, just to be clear. So you are the magician, and within your grasp are the amazing forces of earth and spirit. The water is the energy of yin, the power of spirit and clarity of thought. The flame is the energy of yang, bringing direction and creativity. Okay, so this is referencing what's in the magician's hands, an illustrative example of you in current energies right now, and or in your next steps. I have to say it that way because it's a general collective, right? And so some people are a little to the left, others a little bit to the right on the path. Okay, makes sense? All right. So the mirror stands beside the magician, selecting the outer world's response to your choice to use or dismiss the true power that you have. So you know how we're always talking about basically you're powerful AF and such to the point where you can actually wreck your chances at having that utopia. I don't even want to say proverbial because literally we're actively creating your utopia right now, especially if you are aware and present for this particular message. Okay, so check in. Okay, you are being put on notice, okay, that an important and powerful time is at hand, like in the right now. Okay, so serious. Okay, you are the alchemist of your life, and just as an alchemist turns base metals into gold, you are now able to transform your difficulties into great blessings. Ain't no mid here. Ain't no half-assed here. Okay? So serious, right? This is what you want. It's everything that you've been manifesting. It's everything that you've intended for you, for your people, perhaps even to say, right? And here's the sitch. The magician came out from the tarot for you guys. This is serious. Double the energy, at least, okay? And I want to say it that way because you're not even talking about magician here. You're talking about magician and the mirror, the elements. Gaia is involved in this, okay? Obviously. Of course you're connected. Makes sense? All right? How can you not be connected to something you're walking on, lying on, swimming above, right? Makes sense? Okay? So, what we have to do is fix some aspects about the perceptive nature here. Okay? Now, clearly you're capable, okay, because you've already been like grounding in the fight for this, okay? Grounding in the I will myself to be stubborn in faith, okay? No longer simply and solely stubborn, but purposefully and intentionally stubborn in faith, okay? And this is why we're talking about alchemy, honey, right? The magician is performing alchemy. So too are you, you magician, you. All right? So there's something about like really realizing and remembering and then also actioning out so that you get the bag and all the stuff to put in it and the people to talk about it too. Right? You got to stay focused and you've got to stay high vibes. No more wishy-washy, woe is me, I'm the victim here. It's happening for you, not just to you. Half the time, people talking about it's about you, it ain't. This life is far more spiritual, all right? So, you know, This is so funny. There was I'll out myself on this one. There was an example earlier this evening. I had a, you know, I'm doing shadow work here, right? And I was somewhere, I won't even say where, and there was another somebody. I don't even know the name of this person. So, like, to be clear, I'm not hiding anybody's identity. I just don't know them. I don't even care to know. It's fine, right? So, long story short, it was just another experience within which I've had to overcome aspects of being triggered, right? Abandonment issues comes to mind, okay? And long story short, I told myself, you know what? The fact that someone can essentially look at you to look through you really says more about themselves and nothing about me. And then I got a download, and it's like, yeah, it's definitely not you. Like, that person, they're not on the timeline. They're not on the same timeline. You guys, right now, ish is getting wonky, right? I'm speaking in code because YouTube rules and censorship fun and everything, right? So bear with. I'm like trying not to get disgruntled over that one. Anywho, it's just gonna get wonky, right? It's gonna perhaps ask you, hey, do you want to be triggered? How about now, right? And you're gonna be like, gone are those days. I know more. Allow myself to be triggered because my central nervous system deserves better. My vessel deserves better. I deserve better. I am in my baseline energy, calm, peace, and serenity, in spite of the muck-ish, okay? Trying to censor myself here. But this fight is not actually going to be something that does not produce fruit. And it's kind of given, you know how they say, like, if it doesn't unalive you, it makes you stronger, right? Literally, we're talking cycles being closed here, all right? You are willfully and intentionally closing out most of them, perhaps, right? But this portal energy is coming through with the come through in assistance of this. And this is where the Galactic Federation gets involved. All right. Really going through the upper ranks here. And so you're being guided to continue on the path. Work on your mental space. Maybe even, you know, emotional body comes to mind, right? We've got all kinds of bodies, in case you wondered, right? Metaphysical. You've even got the auric field. You've got the physical. You've got the emotional, right? You've got the spiritual, all right? Big-ish. Why? Because you're at least starseed energy. And honey, that ain't no small potatoes anyways. Starseed? You're talking otherworldly. You're talking multi-dimensional capabilities and access. Makes sense. Okay, that the Galactic Federation knows ya. Knows how to get messages to you here. Intergalactic communication. All right. Now, there could be some significance to Beastie Boys. Oh, it never fails. Like, every freaking time, whether I say intergalactic or someone else in the spiritual community says intergalactic, I continue to just channel that song. It's so funny. But here, we're talking manifestation. Magician. Can't get any clearer than that. Like, you guys literally need to be living like, yeah, no, we're freaking Harry Potter, right? Make it make sense, if you will. I just picked an iconic character in the community, right? Fictitious and all, but you get the illustration, all right? Could you imagine if we were literally, like, going to Hogwarts? It's like, oh, you know, who are you? You know, are you going over to this class? Are you cut from this cloth kind of thing, right? Are you Starseed? Are you Earth Angel, right? This is par for the course of New Earth, right? Understanding who you are, why you are here, what you are to build, right? Abra. Yes. Spiritual rebirth, okay? Of course, you're not really getting to the life-changing situations without the sacrifice, okay? And many of you understand the following phrase with every fiber of your being and what it means and what it feels like and the last that you've done it to really unalive unto self, okay? Right? Not in the sense of You know how they got like certain prevention awareness? Not in the sense of that, right? Not in the sense of that type of time, all right? But in the sense of spiritual rebirth, okay? And of course, you don't get the rebirth without the unalive part, right? Just saying, transmutation, alchemist, magician, okay? I'm really proud of you guys, by the way. I'm so grateful I get to deliver messages like this because, I mean, not just everybody does, all right? You guys are doing amazing work, and I want you to actually honor yourselves as if you have been doing amazing work, and not just in the sense of like, yeah, but what's next? Yeah, but when's the ball gonna drop? Yeah, but when do I get a break? Like, there's that perception, okay? Because you can really shoot yourself in the foot. You ever like get through a workout, right? And you're all like, oh, freaking like, oh, I gotta get through this, right? Immediately, you should never be like, this is going to be so hard. I can't do this, right? If you're expecting to actually get through it, right? That's really the epitome of quitting up at that point in those parts of the workout session or whatever you've got to plug in there to make sense of, right? It's like it would be, you know, like you wake up and you realize, oh my gosh, I slept in half an hour, right? And then at that point, if you tell yourself, okay, like, I literally am not going to make it there, whether it's work, whether it's an appointment or otherwise, on, you know, like at all, right? Let alone on time. It's just automatically not worth even trying. Then you're not going to be seen. You're not going to see someone. You're not going to live, perhaps, right? In the way that divine intended you to live here. So please, I'm very mindful. It's not a one and done, okay? I need you two to be mindful of that as well. When you're doing this type of shadow work, this type of retraining the brain, it's an over and over and over again, right? But not in the sense of insanity, right? Like insanity, you're doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. This is safe, much safer than insanity, because you would be expecting over and over again the same results until you get the same results because you didn't give up trying. See what I mean? Right? So, birthing the new you are here, master manifester, master alchemist, okay? And this is what you're being called into if you don't feel like you're there yet, right? Because you are here, very much so, in New Earth. And welcome, and congratulations, all right? So you are birthing the new, you are birthing the new timeline, right? But you're also birthing the new mental space. You're birthing the new heart space as well. There's some aspect of the higher heart chakra as well as the crown chakra coming out for your session here. All right, these are upgrades. Some of you are realizing perhaps you're grid workers, realizing perhaps you've got to physically travel to assist with earth grounding, right? Realizing as you do, you know, your little baby steps, perhaps, right? And again, there's some aspect of like, do you not realize how badass baby steps are? Like, when you put baby step next to baby step, next to baby step, next to baby step, you get somewhere so fast than you do talking about, I can't, I won't, right? So there's that. You'd have to change that perception, okay? So that you get to the getting on. And you've got this infinite awareness. Galactic Federation really is coming through to assist you with raising awareness of that. Really, you're being asked to ask yourselves here, how wonderful can it be, right? Like, how wonderful are you making it? Is how wonderful it can be, if that makes sense, right? Not necessarily how wonderful is it, will it be, but how wonderful can you make it, okay? Some of you, you know, you've got to be better at perhaps making it fun to wait, right? Nobody wants to just sign up to wait anymore these days. I get that, right? Here's the thing, though. You're really closing out the cycle of impatience. You're really closing out the cycle of, instant gratification, right? Because impatience and instant gratification are really teetering on, it's toxicity, right? And we all overcome that. I get that, okay? So please, if you're feeling outed, please know you're not the only one, and this too shall pass. Especially those really that understand, yeah, I'm doing the work, yeah, I'm trying, I'm re-intentioning, I'm reimagining I'm changing my life. And as I do that, as I change my perception, as I change, you know, my life choices, okay? You know, some of you are changing dietary choices. Some of you are learning other ways with which to holistically heal, depending on what all you got going, right? But nonetheless, you are a galactic star. Look, there's that galactic again, right? Galactic starseed blooming, at least. And I need you to know, I say it all the time, but like, this is this is like how some people might look at you like you're a freaking Nebo baby of the universe kind of vibes. Okay? Like it's like, oh, who are you on what? What? You're connected to what? You know who? Right? Kind of thing. You guys, some of you need to get better at listening more and listening to silence. In the moments of listening to silence, you can really hear loudly often some real deep inspiration coming from yourselves. And to be more succinct, your higher selves. Gosh, it's important to be tapped in there. Okay? You can talk to your muggle self. I don't know why we're in Harry Potter land so hard tonight. You guys just go with it. But you can talk to your muggle self all you need to, I guess. Right? Ain't gonna get you where your higher self can already map out for you. So there's that. And it's so funny because my mind is now going back to that other incident where I empowered myself and was communicative with the divine instead of communicative with the trigger, right? This particular person, especially with the environment that we were in, and especially with the expected course of action within, most people are expected to perform out in this environment. The person was definitely overly focused on something that really was taking away from the experience that should have been the experience, especially in that kind of environment, right? So there's something about like detoxing, right? Maybe some of you are actually detoxing referable to diet, okay? Hello, hey, hi, welcome, right? But really there could be this call to detox, particularly from social media even, okay? Guys, there's a lot of vibrational frequencies and influences that you are accessing each and every time you're rocking with that phone. Okay, that's why I feel like any reader worth their weight in even in YouTube land should at least high key be advising every now and again, right, for people to utilize their own intuition, for people to check in and really trust their inner guidance. Okay, and here's how you know, in case you wondered, that we're really talking about right now vibes. Okay, we've got Memento Mori. And it says there might not be a someday. Okay. And look at this. It's Cinco de Mayo for a lot of people on the globe. Just saying. Right? That's why we're talking about the portal energy. 5-5. Okay. We are on the 5th day of the 5th month of the year. Okay. And we're talking about there might not be a someday. So really, now's the time for you to really get intentional and check in with self, not necessarily with cell phone, okay? That ain't you. Let me stop. But anyways, yeah, check in with the self phone. And drop the cell phone for a minute, okay? Until you get to the other side of this, perhaps, all right? Because you don't want to miss out on really having the time of your life here, right? Like you've done the survive with the hopes of thriving someday kind of timeline and coursework, right? But now you're really tasked with climbing out of that, okay? And not even all left on your own devices, right? Something about devices. Not really being left to your own devices, excuse me, not on them, but but in the sense of like definitely keeping in mind that you are heavily protected, divinely assisted, and of course divinely protected. Long story short, some of you, you've been really going through the gambit, okay? You kind of maybe felt this picture. Not that I'm suggesting you should, but someone here may be. Because behind the scenes, whether you're aware of it or not, referable to this cycle you're about to close, or you have closed recently, really involves a lot of karmic repercussions behind you closing out the cycle. And you guys, that's why I ask you, please check in, please be present, please ask yourselves questions, please expect inner guidance to be a thing for you, okay? Because some of you, there's a whole community, a whole host of individuals, and maybe they don't know each other, right? That are really hoping, wishing, and praying that you don't close out the cycle, okay? And really, you gotta, because that's par for the course of divine right, role, and agenda. New Earth, right? Gaia's even in the mix. It's a thing. You're scheduled to be here unapologetically, okay? So what of it if people are looking at you like you're the Nepo baby of the universe, okay? Because unapologetically so. You've been through a whole gambit of really unpleasant experiences. And that's a really high key and understatement, okay? And for those that aren't aware, because I'm mindful, we are growing. Thank you, and welcome here. Sometimes you'll see your girl giggling throughout the channeling. That's me trying to keep my vibe high, because what I'm accessing energetically is not cool. So, just to be clear, I'm not actually laughing. I'm recalibrating, if that makes sense, okay? Long story short. And here's the sitch, okay? Some of you have been really enduring, all right? It's giving Dark Night of the Soul energy with the sidecar of, you betcha sure you're gonna know who you are on the other side of this, okay? Because you'd have to, basically, to keep your wits about you, if that makes sense, okay? Some of you have been enduring inexplicable body pains, some welts and bruises, maybe even scratches, right? You're questioning, was that me? Like, you wake up like that, perhaps? Like, did I scratch myself in my sleep kind of thing? And if that resonates especially high key, you guys, get with the Palo Santo for sure. You know, just kind of, you know how like some people use air freshener several times throughout the day? You know, you might just want to do it a couple more times than just like the once, okay? So before bed comes to mind, it makes sense. Now, there's some significance to both Jupiter retrograde as well as Venus retrograde. This person, this individual, and or this community or group of individuals, okay, whether they know each other or not, because it's a general collective, so this part gets a little hairy for me to deliver, so hopefully it's making sense, okay? They wanted you, whoever the they is, or however many that they are for you, to have problems with making important life changes, decisions, you know, your expansion, especially if you are, you know, next in line for that scheduled prosperity, right? You're claiming that abundance. It's like they saw that, they saw the activation in that, and they wanted to fight it, okay? There's some aspect to Venus retrograde, and we just basically, like I already started out the channeling saying, I'm trying to say basically again, I almost said barely climbed out of. You know, you could have been dealing with insecurities, body dysmorphia, right? Feeling worthy, right? Feeling triggered, abandonment issues, okay? You know, they wanted you to feel all the feels, and so that you would essentially, with your powerful R's, okay, crumble, shoot yourself in the foot kind of thing, and give up. You know, stop doing what you were doing kind of thing. And you know what's so funny is when I got this, well, this part isn't funny, but but I digress. When I got this first cycles card, I don't know, there's something about twos here. Because I feel like we're doubling up on everything. It's like, what is this, the Ark? Maybe there's some significance to the iconic figure Noah. Doesn't have to be the case. But when I got this cycles card, I picked up the presence of Evil Eye, right? Understatement, because it was not giving, oh, they're just jealous of your shoes. No, it was way more than that, right? And it's so funny because it's like, you know, these people, some of them are even considered high honor in their public, in their community, right? Or in your public or in your community, it might be more aptly stated. But for some of you, you know, these people are online with their own type of community and all of that. There could be some military significance, doesn't have to be the case. But they wanted to, you know, I'm trying to censor my, they wanted to unalive, they wanted to steal, unalive, and destroy, right? And it's giving, for whatever they sent your way, okay, they're going to have the bad cycle that they set up for you, whether they summoned up a jinn or not to do this kind of thing, right? At least times 3. Okay, I have to say it that way because the card limits it to that. But I'm so serious, times 10 is what the channeling is saying. All right, Oracle cards can be limited, so there's that. All right, take what resonates. But please and thank you, remember and do not forget, okay, that the angels are protecting you. I need you to know that the energy for that card was so strong, it flew out of the deck and landed on top of the very ritual or rituals, okay, because this is definitely indicating, again, the presence of whoever was doing the bippity boppity, okay. And I promise this is literally the case, flew out of the deck and landed on top of it, covering the card. It's as if it didn't even ever occur. So whatever, you know, is seemingly ailing you, okay, I need you to know, be grateful, because comparable to what was sent your way kind of thing, we don't need to talk about it because we're not on that timeline. We're not on that frequency. Makes sense, okay? Too high vibes here. Just serious. Just so serious. And so this is why you've got to know that you know that you know, if and when, because some of you, you're being projected onto, you know, you realize not every thought is your own, even though it's coming in perhaps seemingly the same form, the same tone, right? And so same deal with emotions, right? And so if and when you find yourselves really kind of trying to figure out which wolf to feed here, all right, for those that don't know that parable, it's like, okay, you can, it's basically the epitome of like, you can look at a glass and always see if and when it's half full, as well as you can look at that same glass and always see just the same if and when you should find it to be half empty. And you are in charge of the perception, okay? So please check in to be aware of it so that you can tweak it as needed, perhaps. I'm not here saying everybody needs their whole entire perception tweaked, okay? But again, let's be honest, okay? This particular card here that really talks about, wow, moving on to better, and it's getting good now. Really, I mean, are you sure, ma'am, sir? Like, did the doctor say it? You know, you really have to be mindful to be stubborn in your faith, okay? Flexing the faith muscles here. You know how some people are stubborn to not go to the doctor, all right? It's like you got to kind of use that for what it's worth, that stubborn energy, to be faith-filled. Maybe some of you even had to go to the doctor and receive some news that you just need to know. If that's you, and now I'm not here giving medical advice, but here's the sitch, right? From one doctor to the next, not the same type of doctor, not the same type of weight, not the same type of knowledge, not the same type of timeline, perhaps, right? So long story short, you do have the choice in the matter to not only get a second opinion, but also remain faith-filled and hopeful, okay? Because unless and until you say, no, that's it, I surrender, that's it, I'm done, right? Then it doesn't have to be the case, okay? Also, long story short, you're going to have a better experience overall, even whilst getting through whatever you're getting through. Whether that's connecting to your health, whether that's connecting to your mental space, your heart space, that was also talked about. All right. We did also have crown chakra activation coming out as well. So you guys might be feeling a little lightheaded. You might be needing to take more rests, you know. There's upgrades, of course, with everything. All right. And also, maybe even more aptly stated, reacclimation. Like if and when there's a portal presence, irregardless of the numerical energy that's attached to it, there's got to be this reacclimation. You've got to be receptive. And so in the action of even receiving energy, the ideation, the understanding, depending on what all we're talking about, connecting to a portal, right? You would have to make change for that. You'd have to make the choice to receive, right? Again, something about really keeping yourselves in line here, mentally, perhaps physically, and perhaps spiritually, right? With understanding that you are the magus, you are the magician, you are the starseed whose name holds great weight, great power in spiritual realms. You are the multi-dimensional being, all right? So when you look at things that you may have to go through or basically overcome, right? From that type of timeline, from that type of conscious-based awareness, you get over the hump a lot faster, even if you're actioning out baby steps, okay? There's also something about being grace-filled, okay? Gratitude also comes to mind, but being grace-filled. Grateful to self. Because you didn't give up. You wanted to. Hell, some of you were told to. You better sure, you know, why would you not give up here, buddy? Right? And it's like, what? You know? But long story short, okay, this is why you're being able to endure, not only endure, but overcome, is because, again, you hold high honor, right? It's like, you know, your enemies might want to lay claim to your birthright, right? But again, you know, the bippity boppity may be performed, okay, but it cannot, it shall not, by divine right, rule, and agenda, prosper. Such to the point where you've lost out on anyone, anything, any experience that you are not meant to miss out on. Do you know what I'm saying? And so be faith-filled about that so that you can get through the getting through. Some of you are really in heartache energy because you left an individual, a grouping, a community, right? You got a bunch of what ifs going on. It's like, well, you know, I was the one that usually did the, you know, whatever, and so now they're going to have to find, or they're going to have to use someone else. And it's you valuing yourself, your worth, and being grateful to be able to do that, and being serious about it enough to understand aspects of self that maybe you've not really delved into yet, okay? And again, the inner guidance is where that type of clarity is going to shine through for you, not a tarot reader, okay? So, please do not give up. Now would not be the time to give up, as I say that. 77 could be an angelic code of some significance. Look up those angel numbers, would ya? They really help round out the message, you guys. I'm so serious. But you are the rising star, okay? And now, what comes with being a rising star? Well, maybe not in every timeline, and maybe not in every celebrity's backstory type of ish, but when we're talking about you, collective member, we're talking about abundance. Of course, you're going to have stacks and racks connected to what all you're doing in your next steps when you are on the great side of karma, when you are divinity, royal divinity to be exact, having a human-like experience with birthright of what? Abundance! Make it make sense. Now is not the time for second guessing. We've talked, we've learned, we've done some baby steps. Now it's time to really at least be disciplined in the baby steps, stepping out, okay? And some of you, you being disciplined in some of the baby steps is really slowing it down in areas where it's like, my goodness, you just overworked yourself, overtired yourself, and so you're thinking that's the only way that the money will come, and so that's the only way that the money will come. Whole time, right, divinity and truth and all, right, you got this birthright, the whole abundance package, you're not making room for it, okay? And so, of course, the call isn't into some form of laziness, right? But into some form of faith-filled resolve that when you know your back's up against the wall and you've done your part and you've not played the victim and you have helped others, in spite of needing the help, okay, you need to just really take this time, since you already made it, to accept that you already have one, in the sense that you know that you know that you know you are literally divinely supported. Now, impatience came through, right? So we got to talk about this. Sometimes we don't get what we're looking for and what we're deserving and what we're doing owing, even according to divine right, wrong agenda, because we have yet to close out cycles, okay? If you've got Tom, Dick, and Harry around, perhaps, right? Or Barbara, Brenda, and Sue, okay? And they're all talking about you behind your back, and you go, yeah, no, it's fine because they do it for everyone. They're going to be the reason, really, it's you, not making the decision to choose you over them. But we'll talk about it the way that it's firstly perceived, perhaps just to get you to the real reality of the root of the situation. They're not going to, be around, and your manifestation, or whatever you're looking for here, however you want to say it, your abundance, can't be in the same room, can't be in the same timeline. So now what? You would have to check in to be like, oh my goodness, is that a thing? That might be a thing. Oh, now that we've checked in and actually found that's actually a thing, what of it? Because the divine's waiting on you. Baby step or not, giant leap or not, for you to do your part. Can't get around it. You're here to live and be alive and experience, and that's par for the course. All right? And of course, same deal are decisions. You've got your part to play, yes, but you're actively co-creating New Earth with Source. This is big-ish. You got the Galactic Federation knowing your whereabouts, right? You got Source already encoding into you what you're here to birth out in this experience, okay? So of course you're here with purpose. Makes sense? But you've got to actually feel like that, think like that, and live like that. Even when dealing with the ideation of money, even when having your new relationship with money, right? Again, it's a try again experience. I am not unmindful, even personally. Okay? So, no shame, no stigma needs to be attached here. But what does need to be attached is your faith, okay? Faith in the matter, that the divine universe does actually have your back, that you actually are connected to divine universal energies, entities, right? Gaia comes to mind. Like, I feel like somebody was like, wait, Gaia? Like, oh, like what? Galactic Federation? Right? You've got to really study to show yourselves approved here, honey bun, if that's you. And that's not any judgment, right? It's really just please and thank you do that, so that you can get to the experience of really all of the joyful abundance that already exists. It's got your name embossed in it even, right? Tag attached and everything, inclusive of money, okay? The phoenix rises into joyful abundance. This is why you're being asked to do this work, okay? Now, by doing the work, what are we talking? We're talking process your feelings, okay? You've got to check in, be aware, feel, be present, engage with you, not outside of you, firstly, okay? Again, this is not a call to be some form of recluse. You're not even being called, from what I can recall about the cards, even into some sort of hermit mode, okay? But it's, the key word was firstly, okay? You need to be rocking with you firstly, okay? Not everyone else and everything else outside of you, okay? Because there's some aspect to divine inner guidance that really needs to be put into the forward focus, okay? So that you can use it as an assistive measure or tool. Maybe even as part of some form of strategy, perhaps. Gosh, the divine is like literally the ultimate strategist, so that makes sense, okay? Some of you need to seek healing, right? But in the sense of seeking assistance with healing. Now, how would you know who to call upon, perhaps, or who to address, or how, if you didn't even know you needed the healing? So again, you would have to check in, like, actually, is that why my back's been hurting? Because I don't feel supported in life in general, right? do the work. You'd have to check in though, and no one can force you. You would have to actually be, the one to say, okay, it may take a level of sacrifice. It may take some time. Okay. It may take a lot of faith. All right. But I want the experience that I came here for, which is joyful abundance. Well, in order to do so, and you already know you can, you've been at this program for a while now, okay? You've got to be that phoenix rising, okay? So it makes sense you got reason to rise out of some ish. And just the same are more than capable of doing it, okay? We've got full moon coming out with forgiveness, and void moon coming out from the Moonology deck indicate do nothing, okay? Some of you, I'm trying to get it here, honey bun, hold on. Some of you really do need to dive deep into your thoughts and feelings, and not in the sense, hold on, not in the sense of overthinking, not in the sense of getting off kilter, ungrounded perhaps, but in the sense of finally taking your own energy by the reins and actioning out, okay, with such specificity and intention in the mental space, in the heart space, whatever, makes sense for you to know, oh gosh, yeah, I have gone off the rails there a few times, referable to thoughts, caring concerns, perhaps, like heart space. Or maybe all of that, okay? I'm not judging, just trying to assist us all with identifying what maybe we're being tasked with looking at right now, okay? And you're being asked to really kind of face you in this stillness, in this silence, okay? It's interesting. I know a lot of times when we talk about like utilizing sound frequency and, music also comes to mind, right? But there's something about like just listening to, perhaps nature sounds, but really nothing artificial, okay? Really just allowing yourself to be in that current space, knowing that whatever that current space is, you are meant to be there for that period of time, and that's not some sort of failure, and it's not just the same some form of punishment. In fact, the whole entire time it is assisting you with putting yourselves in the right and proper trajectory, okay? As I pull the Hierophant energy. I mean, this is top tier, upper echelon-ish, bruh. Like, congratulations. You guys literally are amazing. I literally have the best collective hands down. Nobody's telling me any different. And the way these cards are coming out, I don't really even care to know who would argue differently on that one, because what are you talking about? Do you hear this message, right? We've got changes coming up. Hello, hey, hi key, Avi, right? And with this Moonlight Enchanted, this is really talking about like, okay, current energies kind of can't get around, still dissipating, right? I get that. But be mindful that if you're feeling, I don't want to watch how I say this. If you are being met with the opportunity to be triggered, if you're being met with the opportunity to give up, if you're being met with the opportunity to feel less than, right? It is par for the course of the illusion energy. And you know what? The moon also, especially in tarot land, as I lovingly term it, does talk about a level of illusion, things that have yet to essentially come to light, okay, to be clear, okay, or even be known. And so, really, your cheat code, wow, how timely is this? Your cheat code, oh no, I'm getting oil on my cards, you guys, hold on. Ah, it's gonna look all dirty now, I'm sorry. Okay. It's literally just castor oil, I promise. But with the change your tune coming out and embrace uncertainty, this is really the cheat code right here. I could end the message right now. Like, that's the cheat code to getting to the joyful abundance. As well as avoid drama. Alright, even if you're starting ish, right? Like, do you ever notice sometimes, like, I know I personally had to notice, I mean, I guess maybe even that experience a few hours ago, might be the epitome of me in my current energies avoiding drama. Because I shut that down. Like, you know what? That's actually about that person and not me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and of course it's easy to be like, oh, my light's irritating demons, blah, 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 right? But there's something more to it about right now. The timing right now even seems off. Which, what is time anyways, right? But haven't you noticed things that normally are so just aren't quite so the way they used to be, right? This is you really starting to see what's going on the whole time here, okay? Timelines, even aspects of densities are being shifted around and or severed. It would behoove you quite nicely if you avoided drama with yourselves even, okay? Even inner turmoil, okay? Of course, nobody signs up for the inner turmoil. However, we're talking about this because on the other side of you actually authentically checking in with self, okay? You may find, and I'm not here word cursing, but there's some of us that need to talk about it, okay? You may find that, you tend to be understanding how to access the pessimistic version of a thought first. And you're being asked to, again, retrain, change your tune, change your perception, okay? This is part for the course of the prerequisite transformation to really living out in fullness your actual utopia in New Earth energy. Can't say it any more plainly than that. And so whatever you know you're being guided to face, okay? Or whatever you find out you're being guided to face on the other side of doing some of the shadow work, right? You're being guided to do it. Like, go for it. It's in the now space, okay? Whatever makes sense of, doing this next one, make sense of it. I feel like I didn't say that sensibly. Cut your losses, okay? So, it just is what it is, and it could never be what it could never be, okay? Whether this is about people, places, things, mindsets, maybe even goals, right? You guys, you know how truth can change? Goals can change too. It's like once you realize, like, oh, I'm actually like here to do this. You don't really have the same goals that you did in elementary school. Makes sense. Like what? You wanted to be a doctor and then a nurse because that's what you saw on TV. And it's like now you're, a clerk in the legal system, perhaps, right? It doesn't have to be the case, but something different. And this is part for the course of tapping into your higher power, yes, but also living out in that higher power, whether you subscribe to that goddess energy or not. This does indicate moon goddess, higher power. So there could be, Hecate comes to mind, Lilith, and I forget the name of the other one. There's like the triple moon. Hold on, I have to look this up because I know I should know it. It's just, it's quite late. One second, you guys. That's gonna bother me. Oh, I'm not... Oh, Artemis, Selene, and Hecate. My bad. Lilith isn't even in that. But if she's mentioned, take what resonates, okay? So please don't be don't be fearful about whatever and whatever this is. But if and when you see people having them hospital visits or more or worse, right? You'll know why, right? We don't even need to go down that rabbit hole, just saying. So that's what I have for the collective message, right? Pretty cut and dry, self-explanatory. Thank you so much for those that actually took it all in. You checked in and you are prepared for intentioning out next steps, even if it's to do nothing. Makes sense? Love and light, you guys. All right, let's see here. Okay. Thank you. I can see if you place your question according to the live stream rules, so you don't have to, like, say, post it. It feels a little aggressive when you're doing it that way, just to be clear. So thank you. And I literally just rang the bell, so I just have to see the box. Okay, so I'm gonna, that's what's going on right now. All right. Clarify who F is, Raymond, please and thank you, because I'm not clear on that one. And what I don't want to do is rip up seeds. Just to be clear, it's late, but it ain't that late, buddy. I'm just saying. We just talked yesterday, and I was sending you light again. I hope you you know, really start putting your best foot forward here to do some of the shadow work next steps, okay? Because that would actually assist communication before asking tarot over and over again, if that makes sense. It should make sense. It's pretty self-explanatory, but here we are talking. So I just want to be sure that we're talking about the same individual, Raymond. Okay. All right. Thank you. So, love and light, Zach. From 1212. I've been seeing that a lot lately, too. All right, let's see here. Yes, Ramar. Oh. Well, I think they're very well pleased, okay, with what just happened. So we've got the yes, Arama from the deck, right? Flew out. You probably couldn't see that part. And we've got the celebratory Three of Cups also indicating yes. So pretty happy from what I can tell from the cards, all right? Love and light. Okay. If we don't have any other takers, Raymond, you got another question? What do you got, babe? If we don't have any other takers, I am already gonna hop off, okay? Because it is late and I got an early start tomorrow. But I'm grateful I could come on with you guys. Thank you for coming on with your girl. Very much here rooting for you guys, even off of this thing. I'm so serious, right? Like, I literally do send you guys love and light, and at varying times of the day. And I literally do honor my position in that. So thank you. Thank you for being part of my own path, okay? I really appreciate you guys. And I want you to do something nice for yourselves before you go to sleep. Now, last 10 minutes, think of tomorrow and think of how you definitely want it to be, not how you fear it may be, right? That way, when you wake up, you can wake up grateful that it already will be a thing because you put in the work to manifest, all right? Those that don't know what I'm referencing, perhaps, okay, it's more aptly stated, the law of attraction. And definitely check out that movie, The Secret, free on YouTube land for sure. Fiona, whatever you ask me is definitely a beautiful yes. If you met, oh, they would definitely see your worth. Okay, Empress energy. How could they not, Fiona? Silly goose. Oh, look, it's the Queen of Pentacles. I'm seeing it as the Empress. My goodness. As I should, reading your energy. But how about that? It's literally, I mean, it's still a yes, right? But it's literally the Queen of Pentacles, and I really saw her as the Empress. That's so funny. I don't think I've done that before. Usually it's the Nine of Coins, or I'm all like, the Empress. You're very welcome, Fiona. I do hope you feel better, babe. Oh my gosh. I'm also hearing, watch your salt intake. I don't know if you're not getting enough salt, Fiona, or you're getting too much, but let's see. Oh, I'd be getting too much. I don't know. All right. You guys, I love you. And, oh, Zach, I see ya. All right, I'll ask. I did just give a whole entire message about how definitely divinely protected. And that was a collective message, so that's for you too, Zach. And here's the Nine of Pentacles. what I was just talking about. That's so crazy. So that's a yes, right? You guys, please listen to the messages, okay? Because they're literally for you. Sometimes they're for me too, I'll admit, right? Because general collective, we're all connected, right? But I want you to be mindful the general collective doesn't mean like not applicable to you, okay? It means applicable to you. Unless and until your intuition goes, right? But if you get a message talking about like you're definitely divinely protected, I explained how the card flew out and canceled out any kind of bippity boppity. And even if you didn't subscribe to, or like not subscribe, resonate with somebody evil eyeing you, perhaps, right? It's still a message for the collective members that you are definitely divinely protected. So just to be clear, okay, you guys don't like be in that negative space where it's like, oh, probably not for me. Just because it didn't resonate that somebody was like literally trying to unalive you through black magic, right? Okay. Either way, definitely protected because you still stand, okay? So just to be clear, these messages are for each and every one of you, unless and until it's like something specific that you know you didn't experience, it doesn't resonate. But in general course, I do hope that you guys are getting these messages because often there are a lot of stuff here to be getting out of them. All right, I'm not here for me, you know what I mean? Even though we're connected, and technically I am, but literally, I could just talk to myself in the mirror. I do that anyways, you know what I mean? Just to be clear, all right? So you are protected. Please run with that knowledge as it comes to you, right? I mean, okay, you heard it all. All right, good stuff. Okay, so then Zach, you got to work on here. You know, okay, if you hear it all and you received it, right? Then logically you wouldn't go, am I protected? Like if I go, Zach, you're protected. Divine angels, look, they made cards about it. And you go, am I protected? You know what I mean? Like you got to work on that back and forth, okay? And I'm not picking on you. Thank you for coming on and being part of this, okay? You're helping others to learn, okay? So please don't feel outed or something. We've all been, myself, I out myself all the time, you guys. Like, if you didn't notice, you're definitely not paying attention, right? So there's that. But, you know, as you become aware of maybe some pattern thinking, hesitancy, okay? Right now, you guys really work on that because you're about to birth this baby. You're about to move into the home of your dreams. You're about to be the employer and no longer simply and solely the employee, right? No digs on being an employee. I'm just saying there's levels to this. We're all coded to do stuff here, big stuff. Nobody here, you found this channel and you're part of the collective on purpose with your own volition. You're not small potatoes, honey. And of course you're definitely heavily and heavily and heavenly divinely protected. Okay, please don't second guess that if nothing else. All right. Okay, much love and light, you guys. Let's see. I don't want to skip out on anybody. Said OCD. No, because Zach, I'm on here with mine all the time. Like, oh no. And I'm still saying, in spite of OCD, you can flex those faith muscles to the point where you can really change your life, babe. And unapologetically so. While everyone, all of your haters, all of the naysayers, have nothing else to do but watch. Or go somewhere else. Right? There's that karma, right? So, you know, focus on you guys. Firstly, it's not a call to narcissism. You guys can't even be coded with that type of ick, right? So don't worry, all right? But definitely focus, okay? Be self-aware and implant into self the very pleasantries, emotions, okay? And ideations that you want from others, okay? It's got to come from you first. And here's the thing, not you giving to everyone else, but you giving to you first. Cheat code, all right? So hopefully, you know, I can't make you guys take it and run with it, but man, I'm praying you do, okay? Yep, self-doubt is something that we all face. Okay, gosh, there's even the imposter syndrome. Gosh, that's a fun one. Right? Those that know. But just because you are getting to know the types of triggers that maybe you still possess doesn't mean it's some sort of faded experience other than you moving out of the toxicities and into the good, joyful, abundant type of zone, timeline, new earth, utopia, whatever the tag words are, you guys, that you need to make sense of this and to understand that it is definitely worth the effort to continue, okay? Because you don't want to miss out on literally the good life, okay? I can't promise that everyone on the globe is necessarily a partaker of what is being offered to you now. So you guys, please take this serious, okay? Galactic Federation, for the win here. Please don't be unmindful now, all right? You're so close. You're literally right there, okay? Oh, Love and Light, Zach. Thank you so much. I'm literally your reflection, okay? Uh, Perceptively, if that's even a word, but thank you. And what you have a lot to say about me says a lot about you, okay? So you two share in the same type of qualities, I'm sure, okay? Please don't count yourself out ever, Zach, okay? So serious, you guys. Don't do that. Because you would be the one, right? And then what you say goes in that type of timeline. It's not worth staying there, honey, just because maybe it's more comfortable in the perception of things, but really in the reality of things and what I can see in the cards, right? You guys, everything is falling in alignment, not falling out of alignment. I know right now, you guys, you have to be I'm trying to say grace filled, right? Give yourselves grace. It's like, okay, you don't even have a reason, but you just know that you're a little less than 100 today. Be mindful of that. Don't be like, oh well, you got to do the same, that you always do and get all of the aspects of the to-do list done. There's got to be some give and take, ebb and flow at this current stage. You guys really need to do what all ever makes sense, okay, to keep you in what is entitled the flow state. FLOW, okay, like water, right? Maybe implement water, maybe start speaking great things into your water before you drink it. Don't just drink it talking about, well, I got my 8 ounces in. What else did you put in there, right? Speak life into your vessel, into your mindset, into your utopia, okay? And of course, it's going to take a lot of faith, right? But it's not for nothing. Like, the divine's not really setting you up, like, while they're watching, chewing on popcorn in some freaking peanut gallery. I don't think that sounds like the experience here. Now it's not. Like, don't make it be. You know what I mean? Because again, it's you doing that with you, and you're in charge. So you see the predicament that some might actually face if they are left unaware. Okay, so very much intend from this moment on to just be aware. Aware of what? Well, what is it? Is it a feeling? Is it a thought? Is it a fear? Are you avoiding some aspect of self or another? And if so, why? Okay, and be grace filled when you are working through these stages, the steps as well, because you can't be, talking about, oh, actually, I just feel like a little unlovable. And then what? You're just going to jump on it. Well, that's intolerable. You've got to do better, right? Like, it's like, no, come on now. Like, give yourselves the grace that you would so freely give to another. But give it to you first so that you have it for them later in like a greater sense than anything you've ever known, regardless of how many times you've tried to people please. Not that timeline anymore, so serious, okay? All right? And if you need clarity, please ask. If you need healing, please ask, okay? And by ask, I'm talking about ask the divine, the divinity that supports you, that backs you. Maybe you've got to do that to get out of some sort of predicament or illness so that you can, on the other side of it, feel way more empowered. Oh, no, I know, because if it weren't for God, if it weren't for Goddess, if it weren't for the divine, if it weren't for the universe, I never would have come out of. And, okay, so do your part, All right, you're not here to do it always and in all ways alone. You're never alone anyway. So, like, just to be clear, you can't. And that's a good thing, not a bad thing. All right, so please don't attach shame and stigma to asking the divine, for goodness sakes, for some help. As you should, it's part of the birthright package. So serious, you guys. That was for someone. I didn't plan to get into all that, you guys. But if you want some more information, maybe even some more examples, maybe even perhaps more artfully stated, please check out Christina Lope's channel here on YouTube. I don't know her. She doesn't know me, right? But she helped me very, very much so in the year 2020 when everybody and their mama had that kind of great awakening, right? That was a very, it wasn't the only one, but it was a very memorable Dark Night of the Soul experience. And she actually helped me even learn what the heck that was, all right? Because I thought I was going crazy. Okay, so you guys study to show yourself approved. Don't ask for everyone's opinion, even in spite of their title, and put weight on it to the point where it's your gospel. No, you've got to find out for you. You've got to ask for you. You've got to have your personal connection with divinity, with spirit, with source. Okay, for you. All right. I'm really rooting for you guys. I'm so honored to be able to have delivered the message the way it came out. And man, I know me personally, I'm going to definitely excitedly rewind and listen to this one. You guys might want to do the same. Yes, it does help, by the way, get some of those watch hours up. But really, I'm just truthfully saying that because of the content, maybe even aspects of the channeling for this particular session. And again, it's our message. All right, we should take heed. Okay, so take it with a grain of salt if you must, if you will. All right, but I'd advise you to take it seriously. And why not? Because it was a great message, very power filled as well as powerful. So empower in whatever the words are, right? I gotta go to sleep, you guys. Don't mind me. All right, tomorrow's another day to be amazing, and you already are amazing, so you already won tomorrow. So fear not about tomorrow. Be mindful of what tomorrow looks like, especially when you're on your way out to sleep tonight, you guys. Plug in what you want to experience, okay? With gratitude, okay, and expectancy. You guys got this. You are the alchemist. You are the magician. I really love you guys. Please don't give up. And I look forward to the next live stream. Thanks again so much for hanging out with your girl. Definitely the highlight of my everyday and night. Much love and light.